Zone of the Enders. I talked a lot of shit about it, and you're probably wondering, TK, I thought you told me Zone of the Enders was your fucking favorite. Well, it is, even though I talked mad shit about the first one while playing it. But the reason why I do love this series, despite how much the first one's not good, this game is really good. It's so good. I got extra missions and stuff. We're just gonna start a new game. We're gonna go on easy once again. Oh yeah, I've beaten this game before. We're gonna go with normal Jody. Jody version 2 is pretty cool. Damaged Jody's okay, and Naked Jody is really cool, but I mean... start the game with no sub-weapons? Yeah, I guess. I guess I'll use them, or it's gonna be like I'm starting new. With regular Jody and no sub-weapons, but it gives you the option to start with any of the 4 forms of Jody and all the weapons like Zero Shift. But if I had Zero Shift at the beginning of the game, well, this game wouldn't last very long at all. I'd make short work of everything. So when this HD collection came out, it's actually around this beginning point when everything's snowy and there's a ton of shit going on, that the frame rate drops to all hell, and people were complaining really hard that it ruined the game. Apparently it's been patched, so we're gonna see.
Angie, I remember now. The winner of the year was Hesperia Gales.
No idle talk, you'll crash, Dingo.
In the final 30 seconds, Henry G trashed out from field out. Man, we had a great time that night.
20 to touchdown. Can't wait for the new season.
Position for landing. The people on Mars can start getting excited. I still have 200 more hours.
Be a good kid and the time will fly.
That's unusual.
What is?
Indications of Metatron, but it's way too shallow. Angie, I want to change the landing point. I'll check it out.
Okay.
Rick, you hear that? I'll be back soon.
Dingo, what team won in '66?
I don't know much about back then.
Ah.
Piece of junk.
So yeah, some people were saying that the voice acting in the first one's not very good. This one's a bit different. Whereas Dingo, you hear a lot of Dingo because he's the main character, of course. He's both sometimes really competent as a voice actor, and other times just sounds like, wow, how'd that get past anyone? So yeah, this is the mech we pilot right off the bat. Standard LEV. What buttons do I got here? I can square to do that. Just drill forward, I guess. I wonder if we can get a better view of that. No, right just turns me. Oh yeah, triangles just jump. I think if I'm holding forward, I can... Nope. Okay, my boost button does that. I think I can jump. Oh yeah, and then boost. Look at how amazing this mech is.
Dingo, haven't you arrived yet?
I'm heading there now.
Also, whenever someone talks to you, usually Ada, because I mean it's pretty obvious I don't spend the rest of the game like this, you can push in the left analog stick or right analog stick to respond in a positive or a negative manner. And there's actually, see, like I pushed in the right analog stick, and maybe I did it too late, or you just can't respond to that, but There's actually a part later where Ada's like, I think it'll take you about this long to defeat these enemies, and you can respond negatively, like, have more faith in me than that, I'll do way better.
After this job, are you free?
Okay.
Yeah, I was pushing in left analog stick to say okay. Normally you would say nothing. But yeah, and if you beat, and she's like, okay, I don't believe you, but if you beat the time, then it unlocks a little secret. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, apparently the update fixed that frame rate, so we'll see.
The Metatron is not very deep.
And it's very strong. It wasn't here last time I came.
Going back. Going back. Going.
Shut up!
Is it debris?
The observation crews are goofing off again. What the hell is that?
Anything wrong?
I found something interesting. I'll check it out.
Hatch unlocked. Where? A helmet.
As you may have noticed earlier, we've ditched old style CG and just went straight to anime,
Got a bad feeling.
What?
which is fine because anime doesn't really age poorly. It always looks fine. But I mean, like that, like gameplay CG they used in the first one, that looks awful now.
Nico, I see a huge ship over there. Ah!
What's happening, Angie? What ship did you see? Angie! Damn. Warship? Must be Bara.
And I can't really comment on whether this was in widescreen originally or not. I don't remember. I think maybe it was, because, you know, the first one was a launch title, so 4:3 aspect ratio was normal, but I think this was always in a widescreen. I'm not super sure.
Dingo!
My liver's damaged. Damn Baram.
Bara, from Mars? How can you tell?
Get your ship down into the ditch and stay hidden.
Oh, Christ.
Good morning. Ready for combat operation.
Fucking controller. I'm trying to type on Skype to someone, and my controller keeps vibrating during the scene, and it's vibrating itself right off my lap. Oh man, this scene just looks so good in HD. Oh yeah, there's the big reveal. It's fucking Jyoti. The coolest fucking mech. The coolest, bar none. Don't even give me shit like I'm not telling the truth.
Enemy
Oh, I don't need any help. I know what to do. We did this yesterday.
Raptor. Be careful not to get surrounded. Raptor destroyed.
Oh yeah, so I get right now is when the frame rate would be shitting itself because it's snowy.
Confirming the enemy destroyed.
What is the efficiency of this frame?
This is orbital frame Jehuti. Do you want me to explain how to manipulate the frame?
Who is this?
This is Detached Backup Battle Unit, ADA.
So this is a battle computer, isn't it? More reliable than the Lev's navigators.
I'm completely different. Do you request control
So yeah, like
instructions?
before, I
Yes,
can
Ada,
look around using
please.
left analog stick. Right analog stick is to move the little face picture around.
Please choose
So-
what training you want to go through.
Because I played the first one just yesterday, we don't need to know how to do all these things. However, I think combo smash is
I
a
will
new
explain
thing.
about combo smash. In a close range battle, you can perform a combo smash with a normal blade attack. Press the square button 3 times.
Anyways, yeah, so it's telling me that I can do that. And alternately, if you finish the combo with triangle, which, you know, is ascend, you can send them upwards. I did that wrong. There we go, see? It's pretty much just if there's something above you, if you want to smash them off the roof, or if you want to send them straight down into the ground. That wasn't a thing in the first one. In the first one, you only had the ability to slash and then toss them backwards. So I think that's kind of cool. You can send them down and up. That's pretty much the only new thing right now. The rest of this was all there before. Except the attacks are a bit bigger and cooler looking now. And instead of sub-weapons having ammunition, I just have a sub-bar that just drains, so it's like universal ammunition.
Roger. Departing for 04.
And I mean, just judging by these first couple cutscenes, you can already tell the production value is way higher. Everything looks way more dramatic and
Enemy
cool.
approaching. Unmanned battle planes.
So this is a new type of enemy. This is a swarm type of enemy. There's no point, like, you can kill them all in one hit if you really want to do that, but the idea here is, you may remember this burst attack I had before. If you hold square, you can lock onto many targets and then throw them. Before, you remember, I only had 4 of those little beams, but if I do that, I can send a whole bunch. And they zip around and look way cooler. So yeah, that's a new thing too, is locking onto many targets with these, and then they zip around. Whereas before, you can only like target one guy, and all 4 would go towards him.
Put me through to 663.
Now I can
Yes,
move this
I'll
around.
connect you now.
Help me, Dingo!
Where are you?
My legs are damaged!
Rick, where are you now? Don't move! I'll be there soon!
Enemy approaching.
And I mean, looking at like their little faces move, that's actually a way cooler detail than just putting those little icons in the bottom right corners. So many improvements were made to this game.
It's approaching your way!
Everything's improved dramatically. Voice acting is a bit better, but everything else is way better, which definitely redeems the first one.
I indicate the position of Rick with an arrow. Move in the indicated direction. Enemy destroyed.
And like I was trying to do yesterday, I can use right analog stick to change lock instead of just toggling.
Raptor destroyed.
Oops, that was an accident. Alright, so now while I have a minute, I'm going to show you a couple other things that changed in this one. Before, you could just toss a beam like this, and that was cool. And this, you can actually hold it, and you can see it's steadily getting bigger. And then when it does that flash, it does the most damage. So now we can charge that up instead of just holding it. And, shit, what was another thing? I was just thinking about it. Maybe it'll come back to me.
Enemy destroyed. Raptor destroyed.
Oh yes, there's a new grab thing. I think tutorials will open up for that soon, and it'll be a thing I'm required to do eventually anyways. Oh, I remember the other thing I was going to talk about. I also mentioned I was trying to do it when I was playing Zone of the Enders, the first one the other day. If I tap square lightly, before, you know, it was just 3 beams if you tap square. Now it's 1 each, but if you press it hard, you shoot slower, bigger ones. Which is cool, because not a lot of people know that PlayStation 2 had a sensitivity in its buttons. So like if I... okay, it's cutscene time. I can't show off any more than that. But that actually affects a lot of things. Well, actually not really a lot, just a couple. I'm just getting ahead of myself a little bit. Oh, I'm fighting now. Don't look at the screen.
Back to switch lock on targets, use the L2 button. Raptor destroyed. Enemy destroyed.
could have sworn, maybe I'm wrong, but I could have sworn that this beam gets bigger if you press it harder too. There's me tapping it. Yeah, I guess that's the same. I could have sworn that changed, but no, I guess maybe it's just this blast thing. That's still really cool though. Let's see if I can time that reversal. Yeah, see, I can do that. If you press the attack button, as soon as the attack's about to collide with you, you can stagger them.
The cursor is on. Destroy with a burst attack.
I think the only time that's ever really needed is in a boss fight, though, in this game.
Keep pressing the R2 button, then hit the square button for a burst attack.
She didn't tell me I can charge it, but I'll just do what she says. Ada knows what's best.
Since I found Jayruki, you'll have to give it to me.
What does Bara want with Callisto?
Oh? You don't look like a mining man to me.
Get lost.
Oh yeah, first boss fight. Also, what's kind of cool about this is a lot of the bosses and important orbital frames in this game are roughly the same size as Jody. Unlike before, you may have noticed all the bosses in the first game were just big mechs, just really big tanky mechs that I had to fight. And that's fine and all, but there's a versus mode in the first one as well. And the only characters you can use in the versus mode are just the regular guys, like the Raptor, Mummy Heads, the Brawler guys, whose name I never did really figure out. And then Jody, Nace, and I think if you beat the game on like the hardest difficulty, you can, you might be able to get, what's his name, Anubis. But I mean, the thing was, if one player was using Jody, the only thing even matched against Jody was another Jody. You can't, it was pretty much just mirror, it was always just mirror fights, mirror matches, or unfair. And that sucked. Whereas in this one, they're all kind of shaped the same, they're a bit more balanced, so you can actually enjoy the versus mode. Once you've beaten the game, of course, you have to unlock all of them. There's nothing I can really do to her. She's in a cocoon mode at this point. I can only just dodge that last thing. Oh wow, it tracks me a little bit. Oh, invincibility frames. Kiss my ass. And of course you can always break blocks with a charged slash move, but it's a little hard to pull off sometimes because they can exit block and just attack you at any time. Like you can see how fast you can go in and out of block. Oh, I see. I think when the crosshair is red, I can't hurt her. Almost got her down though. Alternately, I could block a whole bunch of these and just approach her while that's happening. There we go. Get some Argit. Argit's fucking taken care of.
So you want this frame, don't you?
Maybe.
Even if you're bar armed, that's too rough.
It sure is.
Who's the commander?
You think I'll tell?
I like her personality. She reminds me a lot of myself. Probably. Yeah. Okay. Of course, that's only for right now. She changes a little bit. You see her true colors in a while.
Are you all right?
Yeah. Dingo, the enemy is approaching me.
Oh wow.
I'll try to head them off.
You will?
That's some crazy cleavage for a mining woman. Shouldn't you be bundled up? It's fucking cold.
High energy reaction inside enemy battleship. Entry is dangerous.
If we don't do something, we'll be crushed along with Callisto. We have no choice.
Oh yeah, now we're inside. Gonna wreck a lot of shit. And you can totally tell this was around the times of Metal Gear Solid 2, because everything just kind of has that clean animated look. Like all this interior and stuff looks a lot like the base where the second one takes place. Here's a new enemy type. First we got the swarms, which are new from the first one. Now we got these guys. They just have super hard whatchamacallits, shields until you flip them over, which can be done pretty easily, so they're not a big deal. And what's great about that attack is even if you're not fighting swarm enemies, it's a good way to distract other enemies while you focus on one. Like if I was to blast a whole bunch, they would all have to go into defense stance, and that would leave them you know, a little busy, so I can focus on one guy at a time. Because this isn't a Musou game, whatever the hell you refer to as the Dynasty Warriors game. And of course, we have this little pointer's a little cooler looking than the other one. Alright, now we're gonna get into the grab.
You can grab objects which may be useful in battle with the circle button. Do you want to see how it's done?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this tutorial just because this is a thing new to this game. So we have grab object and grab enemy.
I will explain about grabbing objects. Jehuti can grab and use objects around it by pressing the circle button.
Okay, so yeah, you can grab a thing with circle, you can throw it again with circle. It'll have a little prompt if you're close enough. Alternately, you can just smash them with it, depending on its shape. It'll have a different function. Like this is just a big swing. And grabbing enemies is a bit different now too. You don't just grab one and toss it in a certain
I
direction.
will explain how to...
Don't worry, I'll explain it. Okay, you can grab an enemy. And of course, like before, well actually before you could move around, you were static. And they do break out after a while, but you can grab one, toss it at another guy. Or if you want to be a real cool dude, you can press circle rapidly to build up strength and throw it even harder and faster. Aside from just tossing it, you can also... Oops. Yeah, if you get hit, you lose the grapple. You can smash guys too. Kind of like I did with the weapon before. This guy would just stop shooting me. There we go. And of course, if you grab an enemy, there's lots of enemies around, and you go for the throw. Oops. I guess I'm locked onto this guy now. While you're doing this, you're actually hitting all the guys around you, which is really cool. So that's the new grab thing. There's other objects, like things that are shaped a bit more flat that you can use as shields or throwables.
Destroy the cellar generating enemies.
Oh yes, now we have the new hive type thing.
Confirm destruction of cellar.
That didn't take very long. Generally that gets a little harder, but you know, we're on easy. And I know what I'm doing, so I just tossed stuff into it right away. Let's grab one for the road. Oh, we don't have to look at a cutscene of Metatron. We just bump into it and it's ours. So that's nice.
Enemy approaching.
Oh, I lost my throwable. So before I was saying mummy heads are a bit different in this. Once you defeat a mummy head, the raptor comes out of it. So they're not actual separate mechs on their own. They were always just raptors holding shields. And in the first one, of course, you know, you beat them and they're dead. But now they actually pop out. The raptors pop out. That's cool. Yeah, and then when the seller goes into his compact mode, it takes way less damage, so you kind of have to destroy the enemies around you first before it'll open back up.
Raptor destroyed. Enemy destroyed.
And what's really cool is that that charged up slash,
Destruction of
it
center.
actually tracks just a little bit, just enough that you won't look like an idiot if you try to combo it and they step out of the way. So that's really nice too.